This is
You're welcome.
Is this Badger? Badger, I think it is.
I think it's his son. I can't with it's his son.
Okay. That's just a revise.
Thank you.
Just go to Amy. Amy. There you go. Thank you. All right, we will call the September 8th, 2020 meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to order. Would all please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Dan, would you lead us to the pledge today? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. Quorum. I will note that we are being recorded both on our live stream, which is going out via YouTube, to anyone that wishes to view it, as well as internally for our own purposes in compiling the minutes. Doesn't look like we have any row officers with us today. Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move right along. Fiscal and contractual, we have no advertising for bids and proposals, no receipt of bids and proposals, no fiscal reports, no report on quotes. We do have 2 warrant registers dated September 1, 2020 and September 4, 2020. I'll give my colleagues a minute to look those over and take a motion to accept the warrant register. What was the big one?
Yes. I will make a motion to accept both warrant registers.
I will second the motion.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, questions on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign, motion carries. We have the minutes as well from Tuesday, September 1, 2020. Again, I'll give my colleagues a minute to look those over and take a motion to approve.
I'll move for approval of the minutes.
Thank you. Second.
And I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Questions on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign, motion carries. No presentation of written communications for today, no proclamations or certificates. Reports, staff reports, is there anyone here from staff that has anything to report above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner reports and comments. And Loretta, looks like you're on deck first today.
I am, and again, just commenting on the census. Amy, I'll put you on the spot because I didn't get a chance to check to see are we increasing in our numbers reporting?
I cannot verify yet. Yes, I didn't check either, but I will check for you.
Okay, yeah, right. I'm going to try to get some additional information out via different avenues, food giveaways. We have the listserv with the different counties, and there's some innovative ways that other counties have done things, and I'm going to take that information and run with it and see what we can do that gets some more people responding. So
Just out of curiosity, do either one of you know where we're at in terms of respondents? What percentage?
we were at like 67%.
Last week we were at 67%. I'll have to check and see if we're up any or But I haven't checked that today, so.
Which, by the way, that actually, the fact
It's
that they're
not
able,
bad, no.
well, when I said the fact they're able to even calculate the percentage of respondents to the census actually baffles me a little bit. Because, you know, the theory is you're counting everybody, and until you count everybody, you don't know the percentage. It could have
I guess they go by the number of households
possibly.
and then the households that have responded or whatnot. They're, I just know that last check that we should be doing better and we're not. So we need to get that push out there and try a couple of different things.
Absolutely.
I'll have Alan post it on our Facebook page today.
Okay.
And get it out too, so.
I
Thank you.
filled mine out, by the way.
Thank you. Very good.
Entirely because of you.
Thank you. Okay. That's it for me today.
All right, up next, looks like it's me. The only thing I'll note is, you know, I would ask that any fire company, volunteer fire company that's been negatively impacted by COVID-19 related shutdowns, if you weren't able to host your pancake breakfast, if you weren't able to host bingo nights, if you weren't able to rent your fire hall out, and you've taken a financial hit as a result of that, please apply to the county's COVID-19 firefighter fund, and we'll be able to get you some grant dollars to help offset those losses. That's all I have. Up next is Dan.
Well, thank you. And to follow up then, and I know you just recently sent out the information to the fire departments, and probably too early to ask this, but have you heard back from anyone yet?
I've not received any applications from anyone. I did speak with Oklahoma City Borough, and I did speak with New Beaver Borough on Friday, but I have not received any applications back yet.
Again, it's probably too soon.
And they're due back the 18th, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to new resolutions. As always, we'll go through these as expediently as humanly possible. First up, we have 3 separate resolutions from our Director of Recycling and Solid Waste, Jerry Zona. First, relating to discussion of possible approval to submit an application for funding an Act 101, Section 901 grant. Then for discussion and possible approval to submit an application for funding an Act 101, Section 904 grant. And finally, for resolution discussion, a resolution for discussion and possible approval to enter into an agreement with Covanta. Jerry, if you'd be able to come up here, speak in the microphone, so we'll be able to pick everything up for the minutes. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good. What do we have going on here?
All right, first up is the Section 901 grant. This particular grant is for household hazardous waste related education, things dealing with electronics, chemicals, tires, and what have you. Only counties can apply for this particular grant, so the advertising that gets done for the special collection programs that we do locally for electronics and hazardous waste get advertised for this particular. It's not going to be a very there's not going to be a large amount this year, probably under 30,000. I think the past couple of times we've asked for closer to 60, done a full-scale public education campaign. We're going to focus strictly on the events this time and put a little extra money in case any of our municipalities want to do something as well, because they can't apply for this money. They have to go through the county. So we only put a little extra in there as well.
All right. What number would that be?
253.
Any questions for Director Zona?
No.
No.
All right, we'll move on to the next one.
And not Section 904 grant. This is a reward-based grant program that rewards the county and municipalities as well for their recycling efforts in the prior calendar year. Anticipate this to be around 30,000 after all is said and done.
Does that go right back into our general fund then?
Yes, it does.
That's outstanding. I like any money that we can get from the state.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
No.
All right, and finally, Covanta, what do we have going on with that?
Okay, so Covanta has a transfer station for residual waste in the city of Newcastle. And as part of a permit process for all transfer stations, they have to host a recycling drop-off site for residents. Their particular site is not conducive to hosting a recycling drop-off. So they approached DEP and talked to me about piggybacking with us on our Blue Bin program. So DEP said, yeah, you guys can do it. And as part of the deal, they're going to help us with public education about it and reimburse us for the cost of 2 bins per year. Cost per bin currently is around $4,600 per bin per year.
I love that too. Any money we can get from Covanta is a good
Yeah.
Any questions on that? All right, I see these as Nobody having any issue with them.
No.
If you want to stick around for the vote, you're welcome to stick around. If you've got somewhere to be, we understand that as well. But I think we're in good shape. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, as always.
All right, up next from Domestic Relations, we have Tracy. Tracy, how do you pronounce your last name?
Romiak.
Romiak. I see it on the paper and I don't want to butcher it.
H is silent.
H is silent. From Domestics for a resolution discussion of possible approval to enter into agreement with Cardex Retriever File System. So what do we have going on?
Okay, the agreement is actually with Horisma Enterprises,
Okay.
and it is for our Cardex retrievers.
Okay.
It is a service contract, which we do get a 10% loyalty customer discount, and the amount will not exceed $1,377.
Okay.
And it is the same amount as it was in 2019.
Okay. What's the system used for?
It is used for all of our permanent docket files,
Okay.
for our filing system for that.
Those huge filing cabinets in there.
Yes, and this is a maintenance agreement for them.
Hopefully we have to have a maintenance agreement to finally have.
Yes. Okay.
Have we ever had to utilize the maintenance agreement? Something ever happened with the filing cabinets that require them to be serviced?
Well, they come twice a year anyway, just to check them, to oil them, check the chains and the motors and everything.
Oh, are they motorized?
Oh, yes, yes.
I didn't realize they were motorized.
We have 2 that are motorized and 2 that run on a crank and chain. And yeah, we take
Okay.
care of both of them.
Well, yeah, the motorization part, that solidifies.
Right there.
Any questions?
No.
All right, we'll make that resolution 2020-256. Again, I don't see any issue with that moving forward. You're welcome to stick around for the vote if you want, if you're going to take off. Feel free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motorized filing cabinets. That's amazing.
Remember when we went over, there was those huge,
I didn't realize they were motorized.
I mean, the ones that
That's amazing.
we saw, yes.
I just find that fascinating, and you can laugh all you want. I just find that to be incredible.
I wanted to compare it to like, the hot dogs on the, but that was a bad comparison. That was not a good one,
All right, up next, get my mind off the revolving.
yeah, right.
Resolution for discussion of possible approval to enter an agreement with the tax list municipalities for the coronavirus relief fund. Amy, I think we have a pretty good idea of what's going on, but if you could enlighten us to make sure we're not missing anything.
Yep, this is our agreement. This one is with South Newcastle Borough. They're getting a roughly $7,700. This is allocated to them through the CARES Act, the County Relief Block Fund. This is their signed agreement. Back to you guys to sign off on. So,
Okay,
So South Newcastle's getting their money,
yes.
hopefully.
yeah, I think we're up to 20 of them back. 2 have said no, and I'm waiting to hear back from the other 5. So,
Refresh my memory, Perry Township said no.
Perry Township said no, and SMPJ.
Okay.
SMPJ,
I did hear from them.
yeah, said no, so we are, and I did reach out to the other municipalities on Friday, and just let them know they have until September 18th to notify us if they will be participating in, or not, and if we do not hear from them, then we are assuming that they are not participating.
Okay. Damn it, you think they want to get the Alpine room cleaned?
Right. And I did hear back from New Wilmington Borough on Friday, but they're not acting on theirs until tonight, so I'll be here next week with New Wilmington Borough, it's for sure, so.
Okay. Sounds good. Are they our last holdout, the borough, we wanted to?
Last borough. Yeah, I think
What
they're-
other townships are there?
we're still waiting to hear back from North Beaver Township. I haven't heard back from North Beaver Township. I have to look at that list, yeah. But I think New Wilmington might be the last borough though.
Okay.
Yeah, Elport. I haven't heard from Elport.
Well, we will.
Yes.
Boy, though, what's the mayor down there, Mayor Cisco?
Cisco.
Mayor Cisco.
I haven't heard from Elport or Yeah, and then again, I did hear from New Wilmington, but we don't have the agreement signed off on it yet, so.
Okay.
Okay. Well, any questions? All right, we'll make that resolution 2020-257. I don't see any issues with that unless, one of us has some deep-seated
Yes.
hatred for South Newcastle Borough, which I don't foresee up here.
No, no.
We'll be in good shape there.
Okay, all right.
Sam, you're welcome.
Thank you,
to stay around if
Amy.
you want to
Appreciate
take off.
it. Yeah.
Mhm. See.
All right. Next on the docket is resolution for discussion and possible approval to appoint Jason Medore as the Lawrence County Solicitor. Solicitor Leslie submitted his retirement letter to us after a tremendous, I want to say almost 15 years of service, brought on by the board, part-time in 2005, made full-time, I want to say 2008, 2009, 2010, somewhere in that time frame. But has served the, I want to say 4 or 5 different boards of commissioners. You figure originally you had, obviously Commissioner Vogler, Commissioner Craig, and Commissioner Fosnaught, followed by Dan, Steve, and Rick de Blasio, followed by Dan, Steve, and Bob Del Signor, and finally this board here, which is, and before that, which I found fascinating, just learning about his life, was a public school teacher at Neshannock Township. He taught 5th grade and actually went to get his law degree through night classes at Akron. But a career, just a phenomenal career all around. And we're fortunate that he has agreed to stay on in a contracted capacity for a period of 2 years to assist with any ongoing legal matters that we currently have before us, as well as anything that the Office of the Commissioners and the Office of the Solicitor might need in terms of legal representation. But we as soon as we figured out that Tom was going to step aside, we scheduled a couple different interviews with a couple different people, looked at different attorneys from around the county. We had lunch, me, myself, Loretta, and Joe. I think Dan was unavailable that day, with Attorney Medore, and just had a fantastic conversation on everything ranging from tax law to blight reduction to labor law, and all the other different facets of law that the county solicitor's position needs to encompass. That coupled with his experience in municipal law as the City of Newcastle solicitor for a number of years, as well as the solicitor for Hickory Township,
Still
Union
looks so
Township.
young.
Union Township, you can see it in the eyes though. Union Township, and most recently our county coroner has led at least me to believe that he is the perfect candidate for the job. And so to that end, I will make a motion, and we'll open the floor up obviously for discussion. No, we can't do that. Can't make the motion.
Not yet.
Got to wait until the amended agenda
Right.
section. I always mess
There
that
you go.
up.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, the proposal here is to appoint Attorney Medore as as Lawrence County Solicitor. So I'll open the floor for discussion there.
I'll reserve my comments until we get ready to vote.
Okay.
Very good. I feel the same. You've already given the information that to me is pretty much says it all, that Attorney Medore will be a proper fit for Lawrence County Solicitor. Yes.
Now we'll make that resolution 2020-258. And in that same thread, as previously mentioned, Attorney Leslie has agreed to serve, assuming the board votes in the affirmative, of what will be resolution 2020-259 in a position of contracted counsel to assist in anything that the office of the solicitor might need him to, as well as anything that the office of the commissioners might need him to. I think with this, he'll provide invaluable insights into previous legal issues that the county's had, Obviously, his experience as the county solicitor over the course of the past 15 years is invaluable. And I know I'm happy, certainly, he's agreed to this, and I'm happy that he's still willing to serve in this capacity and remain on the team.
Absolutely.
Any questions, comments there?
Not at this time.
Last up, we have a couple transfers. One has to be done in the form of a resolution, and one has to be, it's just administrative. The resolution is, we are transferring $100,000, or I'm sorry, $1 million. Quite a substantial larger number.
One more zero.
One more zero in
One
there.
more zero in that.
$500,000 from our COVID behavioral health account and $500,000 from our COVID nonprofit account to the county COVID-19 expenditures. Rationale being there is we're not seeing a demand that would allow us to expend the full $1 million that we originally allotted to nonprofits in Lawrence County. And we also aren't seeing a demand or an ability to use the money towards COVID-related expenditures that are related to behavioral health. And so we're transferring those dollars back into our county COVID-19 expense account to be utilized by the county in our continual efforts to fight COVID-19. So we'll make that resolution 2020-260.
Just for clarification, that the amounts or the lack of the response is due to the guidelines that we have to follow with the COVID-19 dollars. Not that the general need is out there, for all different types of services, but within the guidelines, the parameters that we have to go by, those expenditures are not being spent just as we thought that they would. So I just wanted to clarify that, because I could just imagine someone saying there's such a need for so many things that why weren't they allocated? So just as a clarification.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Last couple items here, and we'll just take a motion for these as soon as we're done going through this. There's no questions. We have here maybe read what that says. Is that controller office?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, right here. Request a public. I see it now. The department's the public defender.
Right.
We're gonna have to start having all the department heads just type these up, because I'm sick of I'm not good at reading. I need the print type in front of me. This is from the public defender's office per request of the controller, transferring $500 from their travel and training to their Staples budget and $125 from their travel and training to their witness fee account. Assuming that they've expended their dollars in there. Again, there's increased costs right now due to COVID for office equipment, for certain things that we need to send out different mailing items, send out different basically different expenditures. That's from the public defender's office. And then we also have, see, this is the way I like it typed. From juvenile probation, there is a shortfall of funds under equipment lease rental items. And it looks like the JPO office was upgraded in terms of their copier, which is what's paid for out of this line item. In 2019, they used another $485 to cover their equipment lease. They're just transferring that from office equipment. So I will take a motion to approve these administrative transfers.
So moved.
Second. A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Here with none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. And can I take a motion to allow for voting on resolutions 2020-253 through 2020-260?
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Again, we'll go through these expediently as possible. Resolution 2020-253, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that an application for funding Act 101, Section 901 County Planning Grant be submitted to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. The Board Chairman be authorized to sign and execute the application and the subsequent documentation resulting from said grant. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. After the motion is second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-254, now therefore be resolved An application for funding an Act 101, Section 904 recycling grant be submitted to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for materials collected during 2019. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-255, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, the county entered an agreement with Covanza for partnership and continuation of the CWRD. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-256, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that one, Ruska Enterprises, Inc., P.O. Box 2409, Youngstown, Ohio 44513, will provide a maintenance agreement for the Lawrence County Domestic Relations Office, or Domestic Relations Department's Cardex Lectriever file system. These are our automated mechanical filing machines. Cost will not exceed $1,377.00 for a 1-year time period, September 30th, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Real quick, Mr. Chairman. Sure. On the attachment, the first page, I believe they're going to have to modify down at the bottom right. That's going to require your signature because they cannot enter into a contract. So they'll have to adjust that, I believe.
Glad you caught that.
Oh,
Please,
Yes,
correct me if I'm
yes.
wrong, but I don't believe they have the
Right.
authority to sign this. It would have to be Mr. Boyd.
right.
Well, we'll contact, Joe, would you be able to contact Tracy after the meeting, let her
Yes.
know, hey, we gotta modify it? Yes. Perfect. Thank you. And thanks for catching that. Sure.
Yes.
Resolution 2020-257, now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, the board approves the coronavirus relief fund recipient agreement between the above-mentioned municipalities and Lawrence County, the above-mentioned municipality being the South Newcastle Borough. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and second, is there any discussion? Question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. South Newcastle Borough's getting their money. Up next, Resolution 2020-258. Now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, that Jason Medor is hereby appointed solicitor for the County of Lawrence, and I will make the motion to approve that resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
I do have a couple of comments, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, Mr. Medor, what I'm about to say and what my vote will be is no reflection on you whatsoever. You're held in very high regard throughout the community, and I do believe you'll be a good solicitor. I do want you to know that, and I look forward to working with you. There's not much I'm able to say about this because essentially this is a personnel matter. The solicitor is an employee of the county, and actions that involve employees do fall under that definition of it being a personnel matter, which precludes me from saying a whole lot. I will note that Mr. Leslie, and it's been noted already, has been an excellent solicitor for this county and is held in very high regard within this building, within the legal community, and within the community as a whole. I think it does need to be noted, without going into a lot of detail, that the resolution says resignation. It's also been referred to as a retirement. I think it does need to be noted that that is not voluntary on Mr. Leslie's part. Accordingly, I cannot support this resolution. I believe that Mr. Leslie should remain as solicitor, but I think the vote will prove otherwise. I thank Mr. Leslie. He's a first-class gentleman, and he deserves better than this. That's all I have to say, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel, any additional comments?
No.
All right. And I have really nothing else to say, other than, I think when the new board came online, we anticipated certain transition moves, certain elements of the transition to take place. I think COVID-19 put a lot of that on hold. But I think that coming out of COVID-19, or at least being in a position where we're not in a constant crisis mode as related to COVID-19, allows us to better continue that transition into a new administration and a new board of commissioners. So that being said, there is a motion and a second. Discussion any further? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
No.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And Jason, congratulations.
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 Up next, we have Resolution 2020-259. Now therefore be it resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that authorization is hereby given to execute a 2-year consulting agreement with Attorney Tom Leslie for legal services. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second? We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I will reluctantly support this. Something is better than nothing. And I'm at least satisfied that we will still be able to utilize Mr. Leslie's services, perhaps to somewhat a lesser extent, but at least we'll still be able to do that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'll also note that, this transition so far has been very amicable. I know that Attorney Medore, now Solicitor Medore, has a meeting with Attorney Leslie later on today to talk about the
Yes.
ongoing legal matters of the office. And I know that Attorney Leslie and Solicitor Medore, I'm sure will have a very good working relationship, a very positive working relationship.
Yes. I spoke with Attorney Leslie on Friday, had some discussion, and he assured me he was going to reach out to Attorney Medore, Solicitor Medore at this point, to ensure him that there would be a smooth transition, and I think that is happening starting this afternoon. So that's a good thing. Yes.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And finally, our transfer resolution, Resolution 2020-260, and therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that authorization is hereby given to the appropriate administrative officials to transfer a total of $1 million as described on the attachment designated as T-2020-12. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have no ordinances on the table for introduction or final action. I'll note the next regularly scheduled commissioners meeting is for 10 a.m. on Tuesday, September 15th in this room. I'll also note there's a meeting of the Planning Commission tomorrow at noon at the Elwood Historical Society. Obviously, that's open to the public. Am I missing anything?
No.
No, I think you got it.
I'll just note that calendar is gone.
Oh, I thought I missed something.
No, the wasn't there a calendar of it? Well, I can't see that far. Okay. Yeah, I looked at it several times to see the date, and it's over there now. Okay, very good.
All right.
That was it.
I'm glad it wasn't something I missed.
No, you're good.
Um,
All good.
Well, with that in mind, any additional public comment? Seeing none, shocking considering the fact there are no members of the public in the audience.
Great.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Board of Commissioners adjourned.
So the 11
Congratulations.
is not happening, or we don't know.
No.
All right.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
the other, what is the other?
Yeah.
The one
One is canceled, but the 11 o'clock is that
How about you?
No.
And we don't know what it is.
What